Alright, and welcome back to another skill check video. Today, we have a very special skill check for two reasons. First, we will be skill checking my first ever competitive tournament matches that I did in DNF Duel, as I competed in a DNF Duel weekly that is hosted by Huebert called Clover Clash. So this is my first time ever competing in a tournament for any fighting game, so I think it's perfect to skill check my matches in the tournament to see how well I did. And not only are we doing that, we're also doing this live over at Twitch Black Ace DC. So in the future, if you ever want to be in these videos as well, make sure to head over to the Twitch channel, follow, subscribe, do what you want over there. Yeah, so we are going to have Twitch chat on the side, so we can get some extra input maybe on certain stuff. But other than that, I think we are ready to start. Now, I will say I am going to have the VOD muted because these aren't the raw matches. I'm just watching the VOD back from when we streamed Clover Clash. So I'm gonna have to mute it in order to make sure that we're not hearing my voice double. So yeah, so hopefully we'll have some nice music playing in the background to kind of make up for that. So let's go ahead and skip ahead to the matches. So my first match was against an Inquisitor. Now against Inquisitor, Ranger has the advantage, I would say. I think it's clear to say Ranger has the advantage. So it's very likely I should be doing well here, but unfortunately, that isn't exactly the case. Because this, like I said earlier, this is my first tournament, and there was definitely a case of tournament nerves. I think that was happening. You know, just kind of being very patient, but not also thinking about my stuff. And you'll be able to see it right here, right away, as the match starts. We both kind of play it patient. I decide to make the first move. Doesn't exactly go the best for me, but I do get a JB hit. And right there, I went for a slide. I really should not have gone for the slide there, because that's definitely a really slow move to be pulling in close quarters. And yeah, this person we were playing, who I believe their name is Uncle Viz, they are a really good Inquisitor player, one of the best Inquisitor players. So if we get hit, we're going to be taking big damage, as you saw there. Now here, I did mash the 2A, and I surprisingly got through. I didn't get a full combo, you know, but it was important just to kind of get something going due to how bad of a rough start we had. Right here, we're making a bit of a small comeback, you know. We start going with the Gunhawk plan. I didn't decide to just walk up and kind of just stand there, not really do much. Right here, I go for a 2B, which gets me punished. And that is going to be a reoccurring theme throughout this set, is me going for 2Bs and getting punished for that. So that's going to be a big issue that we have to deal with. As we see here, we go for a slide. They've rolled the wheel kicks. We get caught by the JM. The Inquisitor JM is definitely a risky move. Not a risky move, but a dangerous move. And yeah, it becomes very obvious where the guy, like right there, they whiff it. I get the punish for it. Unfortunately, it was just a 2A punish. Not the biggest punisher I could have gotten here. But yeah, I'm just constantly giving up myself with 2B due to recovery off of that. Right there, they get a DP off of that. I do get a throw, just trying to reset the neutral a little bit. Right here, I keep advancing on them. Now, in this matchup, there's really no reason for Ranger to get close to Inquisitor. Now, the way I play, I kind of like being close. I don't like standing far away. Right there we go again, once again, getting hit by the JM. And that becomes a kill due to them being an awakening. Yeah, that's going to be the main issue. The main issue in these matches, I feel like, were my constant 2Bs getting me punished, not recognizing gaps, and being way too aggressive in terms of getting in. I should have been more likely letting the Inquisitor come in on me rather than me pushing the issue or pushing the pace. Right there, we're down 1-0. These are first to 3, so we're down 1-0. So let's go ahead and see what I do here. Here I start off with a little bit aggressive. We get the counter right there, but I didn't get anything off of that, which is kind of sad because that is one of the knee is one of the best counters to get for damage with Ranger. Right there, I punished the JM, didn't slide to confirm it, so we kind of get nothing out of that. We are getting big damage here. We're doing well. But then right here, I just kind of let loose, or got really as you can say, I just got really scared, you know. I didn't really go for anything. I kind of went for the easy just option of going for a throw, but unfortunately it did tech that. Right there, that was a very unlucky hit. I managed to block their guard cancel. I go for the Gunhawk. The Gunhawk didn't continue all the hits, so now they're at 1 pixel. And right here, this is the big mistake I made. There was no need right there. Let's go ahead and just back that up and go kind of like frame by frame here. Let's see. Right here, we throw the Gunhawk, we convert it, which lets us block their DP. They start getting hit by the Gunhawk, and as you can see up here, slowly starting to die, right? Slowly starting to die. Fortunately, since the Gunhawk continues traveling, we don't end up getting the kill off of this. Right there, they come out of the hitbox. They are literally at pixel health. Any little hit here could do it. I started panicking in the situation. I started panicking because I was not expecting him to live that Gunhawk. I thought the Gunhawk would be able to finish him. So I go for a 2A, 5B, just normal pressure. I try to run up and grab, hoping that I could just get away with the easy option here. Unfortunately, not able to. Go for another 2A. 2B. 2B is something that I really should not be doing, because doing 2B just puts you in a lot of negative or recovery frames. So right there, as you see in the chat, we see Neon saying that I should have just backed up, which is the right option here. Backing up would have been the appropriate option to do. And I finally do go to it. And right here, continuing to shoot them. And this is bringing their guard gauge down, which is what you would want as a Ranger player. So despite the Gunhawk not killing, I'm actually not in a bad situation here. I still have mana. They're in exhaustion. I have the health lead. The game's in my control. I really don't need to be doing much here. I just need to keep an eye out. I should just keep my space. That would be the appropriate game plan. Back up again. Once again, 5B, 2B this. We throw out the Gunhawk. And there we go. We got them in the Gunhawk, so they're taking guard damage for this. This is where I made the mistake. I should have just stayed back and continued to shoot them with 2B, 5B, 5AA, 2A. I should have kept my space. But instead, I decided to be risky and kind of go for a... and try to go for something that I thought would get me the cheap kill. Like, let's say they try to do an anti-air. I was hoping maybe the Gunhawk explosion would kill them. I was hoping if I got out my JB first, my JB would be able to kill them. Gunhawk goes off. They managed to block it. Unfortunately, I could not keep them in block stun, and I get DP'd for that. So that was the biggest mistake I definitely made in this set. There's no reason for me to do that. The commentators even noted that themselves. I think what I should have done here, besides not doing that, is... see if we can go ahead and go back a little bit. Okay, so yeah, we're back to this. I think what would have been smart to do, and honestly might have been able to catch them off guard, is when I do this jump right here, I should have just thrown a nade right here. If I had thrown a nade, that would have put me backwards and far, and I believe that would have put me far enough away to avoid their DP. I honestly feel like I would have been able to avoid anything they would have done, because if I do grenade here, and let's say they do the Inquisitor dash forward. If they do Inquisitor dash forward, I'm pretty sure my JB, my falling JB after the grenade would have been able to catch that as well. So that would have been the much more appropriate option rather than just going for a straight JB like that. Let's go ahead and see what happens after this. So right here we get DP'd. They managed to get the pressure back up on me. I ended up pressing 2A on a flamethrow, and because of that, they get the game-killing combo. It is a very unfortunate set to lose like that, due to me being very impatient. But that's just the way it went. I'll go ahead and wait for the super animation to go. Let's see, is this to go up 2-0? No, this is just the first round of the second set. All right. Now we go to round 2. Right here, I immediately back up. I don't block the overhead swing. I do get the throw, so I get the corner. Right here, I get a nice little combo. It's not the most optimal combo, but it does get the job done with the damage. I automatically go for the Gunhawk, try to set up the grenade corner, or the grenade set play. They guard cancel out of that. I get the hit. I get them all the way to the other corner once more. And then right there, they roll through 2A. Grenade saves me, luckily. But that was a very unfortunate thing that happened. Right there, 2A. It's a nice roll through. This unfortunately doesn't kill. If I had more mana, I would have been able to kill, but after the throw exchange, I managed to get the 2A. I take my first round in this set. Right here, I don't know what I was going for. I just stood there and got hit by a low. I don't know if maybe I was going for backdash or something. It just didn't come out. But yeah, not a good way to start the match. Right here, I challenged the 2A. I tried to go for Gunhawk conversion, but unfortunately, I was a little too fidgety and ended up converting way too early on that. And I didn't even get the Gunhawk to come out. Right here, we just run up. We waited for the guard cancel, didn't come. Throw. We didn't bait the jam, but we avoided it. Right here, I'm just kind of panicking, not really knowing what to do there. I waited there, and I ended up getting DP'd for that. Right there, the big instant overhead, and with that, that will end the round. So yeah, I'm just getting outplayed. It's as simple as that. I've just been getting outplayed. I'm getting outplayed, I'm pushing when I should not be, and it's just leading to a bunch of kills immediately. Like, a lot of these matches are coming down to me just not being able to finish the job. But now we move on to the next round. It is now 2-0. I have to win this or else I'm going to lose my first set in the tournament. Let's go ahead and see how this round starts off. Once again, we get started off with an aggressive 5 MS, 2 of them. Just get some early damage. We get a nice 5B, 2B. Right here, I push the issue and go for a 6S or 6M. Didn't really need to, but it didn't get me negative. But then in the exchange afterward, I did lose it, and I think they get a 50% combo right here. That's already half my health gone from the first combo of the game. Right here, I'm just kind of in pressure, just kind of like waiting, trying to figure out what's my best chance to move. Right there, I could have been punished by flame, but luckily I went for an oil. Right there, I try to push the issue with a 5 MS, got hit for it. DP, I finally get out of the corner. I go for another MS. Didn't get anything out of this. Right here, I became really impatient, and I went for a DP, thinking I would be able to catch them off a tap, off a 2A or something. Unfortunately, that was not the case, and that is the first round of the third match lost. So as Neon says here, he says that the 6M seems to be the issue, and I don't want to say it's specifically the 6M. I think it's just me trying to get in close for no reason. You know, there's no reason for me to want to be close in this matchup. Now, going for 6M is definitely, like, 6M is putting me in bad situations, but it's more of the mentality of me wanting to get in close. But in this matchup, I should be trying to stay in the mid to long range area against Inquisitor, because I can take advantage of Inquisitor's slow buttons and punish her whenever she is trying to get in. But in reality, what I'm letting happen here is I'm closing that gap and letting Inquisitor not have to worry about getting in, and they can just abuse my lack of close range options. Right there, I do block the DP, but unfortunately I go for a very weak counter combo. I could have got much more damage out of that. Right here, once again, we get another counter, but unfortunately the combo off it's not perfect. I kind of panic and I went for the throw. They know I've been throwing all game, so instead of trying to tech the throw, they decided to just do a jump instant MS, and with that, they win the set. Yeah, throughout the game, closing the gap when there was no need to. Unoptimal combos. There's quite a bit of counters and punishes that I just did not capitalize on. And yeah, it was just a lot of mistakes in those matches, a lot of mistakes. And in these tournaments, with these players that we were facing, we cannot be affording to make as many of those mistakes. We can get away with a couple, but with the amount that we made, it's no surprise we got 3-0'd. So, with that, we move on to our second match in Clover Clash. Let's go ahead and skip ahead to that. Our second match was against a striker. Yeah, overall, for the first match of tournament, you know, I had to get through those nerves. I had to get through the you know, that feeling of being on stream, because that match was on the main tournament stream. as well, so that was a little bit nerve-wracking. As much as I don't want to admit it, it kind of was a little bit. So there was a lot of issues, but unfortunately, regardless of that, I just had to. It's a learning experience. It was expected to be like that. I definitely could have performed a lot better in that first match, and now after looking through that, it's very easy to tell where I was making those mistakes. So here, our second match is about to get started. And yes, what Neon is saying right there is quite true, in terms of how you have to focus more on what you want to do with your character versus what your character needs to do. Now for this matchup, I was a little hesitant on picking Ranger, because Striker is Ranger's worst matchup in my opinion. So this is not going to be an easy match to win at all. But in terms of all the characters I can use, Ranger is by far the one I know the most. I want to have the most experience with, so that's why I went ahead and picked them regardless for the matchup. So just off the start, you can kind of see that I've learned my lesson in the first match, and I was trying to keep my distance, but now that I have the corner here, I'm trying to make sure I can just apply the pressure. You know, I don't want to let them get out for easy. I've played enough strikers to kind of understand, like, okay, where do I need to push in? Where do I need to not? Right there, very unfortunate DP. And now I have to survive in the corner against an awakened striker without the ability to guard break. So definitely one of the issues I have here would probably be consuming my meter, you know, kind of unnecessarily using it when I don't need to be using it. And because of that, they get this huge combo off on me, because it was either take the hit and hope they drop it because they weren't expecting to get the hit, or get guard broken in that situation. But unfortunately, it seemed like regardless, they were going to be able to get this combo, and with that, I lose the first round of the first match. Now I start off the simple 2A, back up, managed to get the hit off the slide, and right here I go for a pretty decent counter combo. I managed to get about, I want to say 35% of health. Then right here, I get punished, and because of the starter that they get a nice, easy 50%, and they get a bunch of corner carry as well. Right here, I try to jump up in Rainstorm. I can't get the trade off of it as they DP me for it. Now I sit here and wait. I did get the punish. Right there, I go for 6 MS just to try to get myself out of the corner. And here, I'm just trying to stagger the Rainstorms, hoping I can get a nice hit for the crumple. Unfortunately, they waited, and they spaced me out perfectly. And right there, I did the same mistake that I've been doing in the Inquisitor matchup, which was sliding in or closing the gap when I did not need to. Sliding in right there, gave the striker exactly what they wanted. And then I dropped the combo right after, which was the BNB. I need to learn how to not drop the BNB, as it is a BNB for a reason. And with that, I lose the first match. So here we start off again, trying to keep the space, trying to force the striker to have to get in rather than me forcing it. Right there, I force the issue, I slide in, and they get a nice dive kick out of it. And once again, we take another 50% off the first hit. So now we're in the corner, we got to figure out what to do here. I try to mash, I get hit for it. Let's see. Continue to the holy corner, we guard cancel, we roll out. Not a bad choice. Here we try to go for a combo, we drop it. The grenade luckily saves us, we back up. And here we try to go for just a normal grenade set play. We manage to get the grenade throw combo, but we drop it. DP luckily comes out, and with that, we take a round. So a simple thing that I've been doing here for every round star is I've immediately been trying to get away from striker. Right there, they kind of noticed that I've been jumping back every single round star, or jumping at least, and they managed to close the gap immediately. Now right here, I used a grenade backdash in order to trick them to open their guard up for the Rainstorm. It does work. Once again, I drop the BNB, and I get punished big time for that. Now I have to hold the block. They end up going for the triple overhead, and I did not block, I think, the second one. So right here, we take another big combo. And then they go for the simple throw, and with that, I lose the round. Yeah, that is just a prime example of why I do not want to be in close with the striker. Right there, they just closed the gap using a projectile involved tackle. We trade, they manage to get out of the trade to hit first, and they get their combo off of it. Right here, we're taking big damage. Managed to block everything. We didn't DP. The one thing about striker DP is, go ahead and back that up. So the one thing about striker DP is right there. In case some of you don't know this, when striker does her DP and then transitions to another move, there is a gap there. So right here, we're fine. Right there, there's a chance for me to DP. I think in certain situations you are able to roll out. I think right here, if I wanted to, I could have rolled out. But regardless, DP here would have worked, and I didn't recognize that situation. And because of that, I have to hold the block once more. And right there, they get a falling overhead out of it, and I get hit for it. And now we'll end the round. Yeah, it's very imperative that if you do block a DP from striker, be aware of that so you can get that. You can get your own DP out and get out of those situations, because if not, they can do a falling overhead or go straight into a low, and it can get very hard to block in situations like that. Right here, instead of jumping back, I try to push forward on them thinking that they would hit first. They jump, avoided the slide, and we take a big combo for it. I don't know if you're starting to notice, but there's a trend in almost all these matches about me making one mistake and instantly getting punished for it. Right here, we take another big hit, big combo coming in, and I believe they might actually get the kill off of this. Yep. So we got 2 touched on this one. It's a perfect. We didn't even have a chance to say anything. And it's just very much a game where you have to be very careful, especially at this high level of what you're doing. Right here, I was spaced out perfectly, didn't have to worry about the shoulder tackle. I did not punish it, however. Right there, once again, with the 6M, big mistake, closing the gap for no reason. First of all, right there, no punish, even though that was a very punishable spot. Here, we're just kind of doing whatever. Right here, I have the space. I can just sit here and block, wait to see if they shoulder tackle, start shooting out 5Bs, 5A, start whittling down their guard meter more. But instead, what I do is I immediately go for 6M. Now, for Rangers, 6M into 6M isn't actually that bad of a read. But the thing is, you have to wait to see if the opponent jumps first. If they jump or roll, that's when you do the 6M again. You cannot just go straight 6M, 6M, because if you do, this right here is the most likely situation. You're not going to get anything out of it. And you will be lucky if you're even able to block, because usually you can get punished very badly for 6M, but right here they were just a tad bit late, and I did manage to get my block up in time. But now I'm stuck in block stun, no meter to guard cancel, so I'm kind of at the whim of whatever the striker wants to do. Right there was a small gap. I could have done something here. Right here, I don't believe I'm able to press. I feel like if I... Oh, yep, right there, we get our answer. I probably went for a 2A right there, and with that, I get hit because there is actually not a gap there. Right here, we're taking the stereotypical striker BNB. I went for the falling overhead really late. I managed to block it, but now, let's see what they go. If they go for a low, another overhead. Let's see what their option is here. They waited. Maybe they're waiting for the DP. Trying to bait it out. So right there, we managed to get the rollout. Let's see where we go from here. We go straight into a punish for that. So just a normal ranger combo, not exactly the most damaging option we could have gone for, but right here, they whiffed the DP as we managed to roll through it, and we get a big counter hit. Now let's see if we can take advantage of this. We do get a pretty big combo off, but right there, we kind of messed up. After the grenade, you can't go for another slide. And that's where I messed up, thinking I still had enough hit stun to go for it. And so once they recovered, I panicked. I went for the throw, hoping that they would think they would have to block immediately, but instead they immediately mashed on it. And with that, I'm pretty sure this is what they used to kill me. Let's see here. Yep, they should have enough here to kill. And I believe that is it. So with another drop combo, we lose another round, and I believe, is that 2-0 or 3-0 right there now? That is the 3-0, and with that, our tournament run in Clover Clash is now over. So, it's very simple to see what the mistakes here in this video were. 1, closing the gap for no reason, making it easier on my opponent, when I should be letting the opponent try to get in on me, as I'm the one. In both of these matchups, I was the one who had the ability to control the space, but instead, I was going right into their preferred spot. Second, dropping of combos. You know, I dropped the BNB a couple of times against a striker. I ended up dropping that punish combo that ended up leading to them just mashing on me and getting the win off of it. Not confirming my punishes, especially in the Inquisitor matchup. There was quite a bit of times where I got a counter with a 2B or a knee, and I just did not capitalize on it. And I think the fourth big thing you can say is just my patience. I need to learn to be a bit more patient in some of these matchups. I'm being too aggressive, or just being too, just being too aggressive. I feel like on some of these, there's just times where I just needed to sit back, take a second, and think, okay, how do I want to approach this now? But instead, I would just do a 6M or a slide, and it would just get me straight into trouble. So for my first tournament going, obviously it's not the result I wanted. I kind of expect to go 0-2 because, for one, I'm not that great of a player at DNF Duel, and 2, this was my first tournament. But at the same time, just because I expected it doesn't mean that I'm happy about it. But I did have fun. This was a very good learning experience, and I'm excited to join more tournaments in the future. If you guys haven't or don't know about it yet, make sure you go check out Huebert on YouTube and on Twitch. He's a great TO. He's done a great job with Clover Clash. I believe this is the 16th Clover Clash he ran. So yeah, go check him out. It'll be in the description below, both his YouTube and Twitch channels. From there, you can find, if you want to enter Clover Clash, you can find more info there on how to enter. It is a free tournament. But other than that, I believe that'll do it for this skill check. I hope you guys were able to learn something, whether you're an Inquisitor, Striker, Ranger, or just a general DNF Duel player, about how some of these matchups work. I'm going to try my best to take some of the stuff I saw today and apply it to my game, and hopefully we won't see that pop up in the next skill check. But other than that, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you comment below what you think about some of these matches, or what input you might have. Whether you want to see some guests on the show to talk about certain players, like if you want to see a skill check on striker gameplay, if you're a striker, or maybe a skill check on troubleshooter gameplay. I am more than happy to get some guests that know a little bit more about me on the show to do kind of discuss what you want to look for in certain matchups. But yeah, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night, depending on when you're watching this video. And with that, I am out. So peace out.